Okay peoples, this is the old property I used to own. It would have been an off-grid property. A smart-ass real estate agent advertised it as power available by extension, and then I asked a few of the neighbours and found that no, the power is not available because a certain arsehole a few hundred metres up who had a couple of acres decided that he didn't want it to go through his place because they only put the power line through people's properties because the side of the road, as you can see, is slightly heavily treed, and many people further up from me had open paddocks and they'd put the line through them, but mine was the first property that was solidly treed and, well, you know, lightly forested, and then, you know, there's a couple further up that are pretty much the same. I'll take you on a little tour of the place. She's come off, this one. Okay guys, where I am now is my old property that I've been meaning to show. Now I do have a little bit of footage which I'll probably show out of my old camera eventually. I've got to get the CD out. But it's in a format that YouTube doesn't really like, and I don't think it's terribly good quality vision either. But anyways, I'll show you the place now. I'm here. This is a joint I sold in the middle of 2010, I think, and I bought it in 2008, middle of 2008, I think. As soon as it, yeah, it would have been 2008. I bought it at boomaroo nurseries when I was at boomaroo. It was the end of 2007. Might have been the end of 2007. Anyway, now the current owners have just got a few stacks of firewood and whatnot, and I'm not going to show a great deal of their stuff. Although I do note that a big tree that fell down there slicing up. But this is it here, and it's just sort of reasonably light. I noticed to put a few olive trees in. I've done the exact same thing and the roots destroyed the buggers in a couple of weeks. But it's sort of a, this area here gets a bit swampy, but you see there's all these little pock holes everywhere. What this is gold mining, and it's a Chinese method. Now when you're a white man you obviously have an actual mine shaft. Well, the Chinese would just dig from the surface like that, and they made an absolute mess of riddling out all this stuff, and you can see, I'll zoom in on it, is it here? Yeah, there, the old dunny, bit of corrugated iron on the top, and the sides are blasted flooring chipboard, like yellow tongue flooring, but that dunny there is actually in a start of quite a large trench, and then it goes back to a bit more swampy area, and then there's like a big hole they've dug, but you know, basically it's just lightly forested area. 7.5 acres. This here was the best damn fence on the place, except for the very back fence. The side fence, it's a couple of posts and a bit of wire on the ground here and there. It's absolutely atrocious. A lot of the fencing stuffed in this, but nobody's keeping any sheep in it, so it doesn't sort of matter. But you know, plenty of timber, hell of a lot of timber, and it's all sort of native semi-hardwood and stuff like that, and it falls down all the time. And you know, there's some areas that are sort of a bit clearer than others. Looks like they must be driving motorbikes around there, but they've got a little area sort of up there, and there's very few trees up there, and I always thought to myself you could probably clear that out and put something there, you know, but it's sort of, there's a lot of fallen logs, and not tons of fallen logs, but there's a, you know, enough of them, and there's a lot of stuff that's just holes, and really speaking, the only way you could level it out is just a bulldozer. But the soil here is a bit odd too, because it all sort of looks all right from the surface, and they've put a bit of quartz here deliberately to sort of make a bit of a lane. Technically it's a laneway, but the ground is actually rock, soft slate, and it looks alright on the surface, and you whack a shovel in and you'll find out it's all actually slate that's sort of breaking up. There's a few cicadas in here. I can't really remember all this back when there was when I had it, but like cicadas been here during the summer. I can't really remember them, but they may have been here, but they're definitely here now. But when they advertised it, and I bought it, it was advertised as lightly forested, which is sort of correct. Here's this area here I'm saying about, that's sort of basically got, it's pretty bare. So you could probably whack something on there in regards to a building like a shed or whatever. But my original plan was, if I did move out here, and I had intended to build it here, I'd probably live in a shipping container because I want something that's actually resistant to tree collapse. As you've seen previously, you know, some pretty damn big trees collapse, and if you're in some sort of shed, it'd just crush you like a bug. So I wanted a shipping container because I know they can actually take a pretty hard hit, and it may have dented it, you know, and it may have cracked the plasterboard inside, but it wouldn't have just crushed me and killed me. So that was one of the plans that I sort of had, was to, you know, if I was to build or live here, it'd be in a shipping container, you know, until I had sort of, you know, worked out what I was doing in regards to, you know, a permanent house or something like that. Never quite realised this before. I knew there was these trees here and they're sort of different, but I think they're bloody cooking plums. I can remember them being here. There's plenty of them. This is sort of on the side of the road actually, up near the back corner of the property, but there's something else that I want to show you in regards to the back corner of the property. Now, this is a bit I really liked. You know what a dirty water sump pump is? Submersible pump. I can get dirty water submersible pumps for $70. When it comes to water and gardens and all that, oh yeah. Now this cuts through the last little bit of the corner of the place, and I mean seriously, look at the bloody size of the hole. You know, and this runs. Make no bones about it, I've seen this running. I'm not saying it comes right up to the edge here, you know, or anything like that, but it definitely has a decent amount of water come through it. You know, and with a submersible pump you've got a little float on the side which will turn it on and off. You could stick one above the level of the, you know, don't just drop it right on the bottom, but stick one above the level of the dirt on the bottom, you know, hold it up, because often they got a little handle or whatever, and you can rope it up so it's hanging, I don't know, a foot off the bottom. And when the water comes through and all that, and the float goes up, you can pump out of it. Here it is there. This is the fence line. Told you the fences are crap. And that's it through there. Flipping holes. Holes here, holes there, holes all through here. That's that big dam one I was saying about at the back. And it's flipping huge. You could put a few cars in there. You wouldn't even know they're there. It doesn't look too bad from here. If you get a good look at all that in the reel, it's actually relatively steep, but the trees are sort of reasonably tall here too. There's sort of not a great heap, but there's almost enough so that it's got to the point that they're fighting for light, and then they've sort of gone right up. But even then, on the side of the road, like, you know, you'd never run out of wood. I mean, it's really wide from the side of the road to the actual, I mean, there's a road over there. And then you've got like, shit, it's like 100 metres or something before you hit the fence here. So there's no way knowing you'd actually ever run out of wood, so